I got you guys. Gotcha. Watch, if it goes to black, you know why, okay? Anyway, so what, as secretary, what is your role in this situation here?
Paperwork.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, a lot of paperwork. But the main points I wanted to bring across for the tribe as our nation and our goals is preserving the past, preserving the future. So in preserving our past, gathering our history, whether it's oral history, written history, whatever we can find, pictures, and compiling all that information together, many of which none of us have ever seen before. Like, take for instance the document Andy was talking about, the massacre. We actually had a physical document of that. How amazing was that to find? The other important find that is about Toy Purina. So as Mandy mentioned, a woman who at the age of 25 said, enough's enough. I'm tired of the oppression of my people by the mission system, and I'm going to try to do something about it. And we're very, very proud that as a tribe, we have published our first book.
Ooh, wow.
About Toy Purina. And not only is our history in here, but specifically what she was up against and what happened to her. And she ended up being exiled, ended up passing away and being buried at Mission San Juan Bautista up north.
Okay.
And we actually have some of her descendants are actually members of our tribe. So it's a pretty amazing story. You can find us on our website, gabrielinoindians.org. But in also preserving for the future, protecting our sacred sites. If you think about our history, we're indigenous to LA and Orange County. Think of an aerial view. I was looking at this picture behind you of El Monte, right?
Right.
And how many parks, trees, undeveloped areas do you see on that map?
No, they're not there anymore.
They're not there, yeah. So our most important site that we're trying to preserve right now is right there at Whittier Narrows. So it's the Whittier Narrows Nature Center, which is at 1000 North Durfee Avenue, right there in South El Monte. It's a beautiful nook. There's a perfect little nature center where the kids can go in. There's snakes and reptiles to see. There's a walk where you can go along and see all kinds of indigenous plants that Matt knows well about, that we would use in everyday life.
And they have real eagles.
Endangered species.
They have eagles there. I mean, I was teaching
endangered
there.
species live there. And then here comes this Joint Powers Authority that wants to build this 14,000 square foot building on our sacred site. Rip it up and destroy it, all for offices. I mean, what's the point of that? There's no point of that. And that's why we're stewards. We're stewards to our next generations, our children. And it's our responsibility to do what, even if we go sinking down, to do what we can to save these sites.
Well, you're not going to sink down. We got Miss Vivian on your side, man.
Now, to enter the sanctuary, is there a time that it's open?
I think it's open dawn to dusk, if I'm correct.
Really?
Yep.
And is there a charge to go in?
No, free.
That's interesting because
it's beautiful.
I go by there, like once a week because I rehearse right around the corner. And I always wonder about it because I'll look to my right and I'll see something that I know is there. But it's not like you hear a lot about it. And there's no big sign or any hours but I would love to take my granddaughter there. And now that I know that it's live, it's there, I can go and I can walk through there. And another question I wanted to ask you is there like a petition that maybe you're going to send out to all the San Gabrielino people that we could sign and mail back and give back our opinion? Yes, we want it to stay. Is there anything like that going on?
Yes, actually, we have done that in the past, and that could be something we could, look at again. What we need right now is we need the small cities surrounding this area, and El Monte's one of them, obviously, to say, you know what? No, we don't support this. This is a gem. This is a proven culturally sensitive spot. Why develop on it? Why can't they put that building anywhere else?
Right.
Why there?
Well, there's plenty of
That's what we
places,
can.
because they're redeveloping all of Valmani. I'm sure there's a lot of territory they could take advantage. I know just today I ran through a parking lot and there was plenty of space there because I hit a rock. But my prima knows that. Hope I didn't crack my oil pan. But anyway, it was just like a big tract of land with nothing on it. So I'm sure there are places they can do that. And like I said, we got to get Councilman Jay Gomez because he's the champion of the people. Let me tell you, he got reelected, and I know he's very interested. Like I mentioned at the offset of the show, that he wants to meet with you, and this would be a definite champion for you guys. To help you guys
That'd
get
be
things going. And of course, you got all the powers, whatever it may be, for our channel behind you. Whenever you need something, you need airtime, just come down, say, hey,
Appreciate that.
and we're there for you. Like I said, we got the groups, we got the people, we got some of our manpower. We got Maggie, and let me tell you, she's little, but she's feisty. That's Super Maggie. And this one's tough, too. You got to watch her, man.
Yep.
You're going to turn your back on this one, man.
And I know if I received a letter in the mail, I live in South San Gabriel, which is also considered Rosemead on the zone, but if I received a letter and it told me something about, the cause and the history and why, and I knew that I've seen this place, I would vote, no, do not build on this land.
No. You bring
it's
up a good
sacred.
point because a lot of the community doesn't even know that this is going on.
Right.
And the Discovery Center's under the guise of education. They call it a water museum. I don't know. I took my kids to the Long Beach Aquarium, and they have off to the side a little water area talking about watersheds and how water flows. The kids go up in there and they play with it for 2 seconds and off they go. They don't care. There's other museums that have been built that focused on water that have failed. So why do it again?
That sounds so silly. Thank you.
It is very silly.
That sounds so silly. I think of a water museum. Oh, this is water from 1905. Let me see. 1839. Look at that water. Looks a little different.
No.
My God, the bones of the water. Can you imagine?
The idea of utilizing a building to teach you about nature. That's another conception that we just.
It's an oxymoron.
Correct.
That's what it is.
When you go outside, for instance, this little dish you have right in front of you for your presentation, right there, I'm not just seeing flowers. I'm seeing pulled pork sandwiches. There is. let me educate.
Are we hungry?
Let me educate.
I gotta hear this one. I'm getting hungry now.
Right here.
Sandwich?
This is Typha latifolia. This is one of the cattails. This is known as the tule that we would use for our houses and for our food. This part right here, this is the seed pod. During the time, right now, you can go and pick this. This is going to be all seeds right now. You take this all apart, put it into a bowl. You add some soy sauce, some vinegar, some other condiment flavors. You put that into an oven. That will all bake down into a tofu-like substance, which would be like meat texture. You add some barbecue sauce, you put a bunch of buns, bam, you got a pulled pork sandwich.
Ooh, I'm hungry. Wow.
And then you take off the bottom part of it, and just like cucumber, just refreshing and just satisfying to the mouth. All right there in Whittier Narrows and all around us, but most people don't know about that because they've disconnected themselves from this.
We have an idea for a new restaurant here. We could call it In the Box. I think that'd be great. We're going to hold you to that. Yeah, there you go. We're going to hold you to that for a Christmas show. You better bring us one.
Oh, there's tons more to it as well.
And Miss Vivian will try it out just in case.
Every one of our
I'll be a
plants
guinea
has
pig.
value.
I'll try anything once.
Oh,
It's good.
You lit up her beautiful eyes. They were
That's
like,
what I tried, what I made. It's good.
This is amazing. Well, let me tell you, we're going to, God, there's so much that has to be done. Like I said, we want to do the documentary. We definitely want you folks to come on back as an ongoing, at least send us one representative at each show from now to the end of the year. And we would like to, cover that even more so. So, because there's so much. So the one question I was going to ask,
Okay.
and I like that. Look at it. Vivian's looking at me like, okay, what next? She already joined your tribe, by the way. You know that she's leaving with you guys. It was the sandwiches that did it. She was ready to go. The language.
Yes.
Do you still have your language?
Oh, a lot of it is lost. Our chief can speak some of it. And as far as, the general membership, it's not there.
Mm.
But we are very, very fortunate that in the very early 1900s, an ethnographer by the name of J.P. Harrington took notes, so they call them the Harrington Notes, and literally phonetically spelled out all kinds of our language. You know, from conjugating verbs to nouns to how do you say this, how do you express this. That is one of the many projects we're working on, is getting copies of all these notes. 8,000 pages of our language
Hey, that's your job, huh?
are at the
Wow.
Southwest
Secretary.
Museum. That's my job.
Yes.
Very good.
So I mean that will be a long-term project, but again, that's about preserving our past to protect our future, to teach our kids. That's our job. We got to make sure this doesn't get lost.
Well, see, that happens, because as a teacher in any oppressed society, when you want to keep a people down, you take away their culture, you take away their music, you take away their religion and their language, and that's how you keep people down. I mean, it's happened to our people, and people look at, oh, Mexican Americans, oh no, they're okay. No, I mean, gosh, we're sitting in a spot where they had the Legion Stadium, the American Legion Stadium here, which was music. A lot of you people there, that was before you were born there. But, a lot of the people that remember those days, we had, the East Side Sound migrated from East LA and came out over here. And I when I taught school, I tell the kids, didn't you know that El Monte was a place where, birth of rock and roll, right? Oh, I don't know. I thought it was over there, And then they go back to their rap music. So, it's a sad story. So this even goes further, because this is a tragedy of epidemic proportions. Because you, like the sanctuary, once you're gone, you're gone.
Correct.
See, and that's the thing. Whether it be
Never lose that heritage
No,
and just
it disappears.
keep it going.
And what it does, whether it be just, like, heaven forbid, you vanish off the face of the earth, or blend into the other cultures, and you lose it anyway. So, we have to be able to maintain that individual identity, and I feel so blessed, and I know we both do, because you guys chose our little humble show to come over here and bring, this major project to light. And like I said, we want to do it, and give yourself a round of applause, because you guys are heroes.
And I only have one last question. I want to know how that name is spelled.
Gabrielino
Keach.
or Kizh? K-I-Z-H.
Never would have imagined. It's
Hey, no Coke for the audience. Thank you. You had your turn. No Coke.
Go ahead.
K-I-T-C is the correct way. But when you look for the history of it, you'll find it under K-I-Z-H.
Because
K-I-Z-H. If you look it up.
If you're looking for it, just Google K-I-Z-H, Gabrielino.
Boschman was the ethnographer. He was
But it's
German.
K-I-T-C.
Oh, okay. So you did it.
His,
See,
his
El
way.
Monte, do you know what El Monte means, right? How it got its name?
We don't know how El Monte got its
We're
name,
gonna
but he
find out,
doesn't have a mic.
We're gonna bring you back up here with your pops in a few minutes.
Yes, definitely.
Now he talks. Okay.
But to find out more about us, more of our history, if you're interested in our Toy Purina book, you go to our website, GabrielinoIndians.org. So GABRIELENO Indians.org. And we got all kinds of stuff
Well,
on there.
feel free to use any part of our interview on your website if you'd like,
Okay.
and let people know
Fantastic.
that you're out there, and lets us know. So we're gonna turn on over to our own resident native, Mr. Robert Colvin. Sax for all situations. Come on. Whoa, come on. So good, Robert. See, now isn't that better? You need the exercise. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, it just gets me into that, like wanting to dance into that little.
All day long.
Yeah, no, yeah, Vivi dancing over here, man. She's
Yeah.
going nuts. She's really good. Up there.
And you know, I know you played the sax earlier, but what is the name of what you just played now? Is it considered
That is also a
a
saxophone.
saxophone?
It's a soprano saxophone.
Okay.
Originally, they were made just like this, just smaller. Manufacturing enabled them to do this at a lower cost. So they make
Okay.
them like this. But you
Learn
can
something
buy
new
it.
every day.
Yes.
So notice he's one of
They
the
both
sopranos.
sound very
One of the
sexy.
sopranos. Capiche?
Yeah, they're. I think the sax is the sexiest
You looking at me?
of all.
I know, Vivian gets into that sexy sax thing going on.
Yeah, I always tell you
So
it's sexy.
Parents, turn your children away from the TV set.
Yeah.
Okay,
Appealing.
we got this young man coming on up here. I hope I get it right because everybody writes me this whole script here, and they know I don't know how to read. Spiritual leader of the Kizh Nation, Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians, Ernesto Tatumes Salas. Did I get that right?
That's right.
All right, round of applause.
Yes.
for keeping it. And for me being able to pronounce it right. Well, young man, we're glad to have you on the show, and I love your cane. That's so awesome.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. Just don't use
Beautiful.
it on me.
And you made this cane, from what I understand.
Yes. Yes. And he also
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
What is that?
This is a owl's talent.
Oh, okay.
Owl. See, it's got,
Oh.
touch it with your hand there.
Did you know this owl?
Did you know this?
Yeah, did I know this owl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I used to sing the night owl.
there you go.
Matter of fact, he used to go here to the
El Monte.
The Legion Stadium?
Yes, at the
Legion
Legion
Stadium.
Stadium.
Oh,
in them
man.
days, yes.
Yeah, we have Arnold Bowles, a
Oh.
good friend of ours of our channel and such. We'll hopefully be visiting with him to get a Christmas shout out next month. I'm taking Vivian so she can,
Yes.
we're the same height.
My father also belongs to La Historia here of
El Monte.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the society.
Pachuco.
La historia del
Oh.
barrio de los, el barrio de los, no, they call it la historia, but it is actually the barrios of the valley here.
Right.
All of them, starting from what La Misión Vieja, and then with they call this Cantarranas. You know Cantarranas, don't
Right.
you? Well, all them barrios we celebrate every year, and have a reunion and have food and so on here at El Monte.
So it's all keeping generation after generation. Everybody's still coming to celebrate.
Yes. Oh, it's coming better. It's going. People, we have a lot of people come.
Well, what next? When's the next event, or when's the next time you're celebrating?
We just had the one here last couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sorry, we missed that. See, we're always the last to know. Nobody ever tells me anything. I only host the show, that's all.
Well, we'll let you know. We'll
Yeah.
be in touch, and
Yeah.
then everybody can go. They have music.
It's nice.
Oh, good.
You get all the old timers, all the old zoot suiters.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Did
My
you get
dad was
zoot
from that
suited
era.
out?
I was from that era, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, my pops was too. God rest his soul. Is no longer with us, but
But it
snappy
was, huh?
dresser. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Everybody thought
That
he was
was
the
the time.
mafia. Even up into his
I
passive.
got-
They did.
In my store, I have old pictures of my mother and father and all our family because that was their era also.
Mhm.
The 40s and 50s, well, the 40s, they were all pachucos and taking pictures at the Pike in Long Beach
Wow.
behind the bars with everybody, the old
Oh.
pictures. I have them all black and white, everybody, all the old
Gosh.
time. A lot of them ain't there no more.
Yeah,
They're gone, but their pictures and their
Well, it's,
stories live on.
well, it has to, and like you were talking about the oral history,
Right.
and that's important because
Yeah.
as culture goes, a lot of times that's all we have left to hang on to.
That's all.
'Cause,
We don't have just in this time we're barely putting our documents together now because it's all we were just brought up like that like everybody else like the raza we're brought up we didn't spend time to write it down we just this is your aunt, this is your uncle, and this is what they did, and that was the history, that was
Mhm.
the oral history, true history
right.
too.
that's what we got going here. I got my prima working with me on the set,
Yeah.
and she's from my dad's side of the family. His sister, my tia,
Right.
her grandmother. So
Okay.
we hijacked her. So that's
Yeah.
why she causes so much trouble here on the set.
Yeah.
It just happens. It runs
She's
in
a
the family.
great asset, though.
No, she is.
Good.
She's a wonderful child. And let me tell you, I'll say that because otherwise she'll beat me down.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, but it's wonderful that you guys maintain the unity on this and that it's all happening, at this moment because everything's for a purpose. And I know, and you'll agree with me, right,
Right.
Ernesto? That because you've been around at least more than 10 years, so you know that everything comes full cycle. And
Right.
everything comes around, and it's all happens for a reason. And I was explaining that to Miss Vivian because we met 22 years ago on one of my other shows, and we hadn't seen each other since.
Oh, really?
And all of a sudden, we ran across each other last fall for the Memories of El Monte concert that we had here in El Monte, and it was really weird. And now she's co-hosting with me, so go figure. See what happens? It all happens for a
Good
reason.
memory.
Good.
Good.
I said, wait a minute. Oh, I know you. But so what's the next happening? Like, do you guys have like a powwow or things getting together? Cause
We have events. We have events that are coming up. We have an event coming up. Christina, what's the date on there? Is Christina still in the house?
I know it's not November 28th.
No.
That's a
not
bad day for you
yeah,
guys.
it's a bad day. Yes.
Coming up in December. But we do go to
But
we
you
go
do.
to powwows and we ever since we were young kids, our grandmothers that are now gone, and they used to take us up to Paula Mission,
Mhm.
up to the powwows up there. But there was no casinos back then. We just used to make tents out of sheets and from car to car, and we'd stay all overnight with all the Paula Indians there. And then the next day, they would have a carnival, little cardboard shacks, beat up shacks, and just. I mean, it was a corral. But it was nice. It was fun. The river was there. We had a good time, and we would go to. But now we go to the powwows now, and everything's changed. You got the casinos. Nobody talks to you no more. The old time. Nobody. You go there, and nobody knows anybody. All the youngsters. And,
It's a business. It's a
It's
business.
a business. But a lot of the old timers see my dad and my mother, and a lot of them, they still are. Hey, Ernie. They talk to him.
You're not scoring points with your mom calling
Yeah,
you an old timer.
I know.
Yeah.
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 What is your
The
mom's
young-
name, by the way?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Virginia
Hi,
was the
Virginia.
best.
She's in the audience.
Yes.
She's
She
from
is the best, that lady there.
Too late, man. It's too late.
She comes from the Murrieta family.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
My mother went to school in the 1930s at Mission Grammar School right here in San Gabriel.
Wow.
That's where she graduated from.
So what's gonna happen? Now we're gonna have the Gabrielino, casino or what? Is that gonna come up?
Oh no, we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Oh, your pop's like that. He smiled big.
Oh yeah, that would be
We-
great.
What we're trying to do right now is get our recognition, our
Right.
federal we're state recognized. We're working on federal recognition, and it's just basically so we could be, at least give us back the respect that
Your identity,
you
the
know,
identity that's due to
our
you, man.
identity. That's
Yeah.
it. Other than that, put our history in books today in the schools here of Southern California.
Well, let's
so that
correct
the
it.
kids can know. Yeah, correct it.
Mhm.
We're not mad at the world. We're just saying, put it out there. Let them know. Let them know the true history. No more distorting the history because look at now, all the kids are lost. They're in gangs. They're involved in gangs. They don't care about history. When you sit here and we talk and you talk about history, it's interesting. You want to know. You want to hear the stories of the past. When I was a kid, I sat there with the guys next door. They were older than me. There was a little shack back there, everybody drinking and that. But I used to go sit there and just listen to the stories. Those guys are gone, but now I know them because they were my teachers. You
Yeah.
know? And nowadays, it's not like that. People don't care. The kids don't care. They don't care about where they come from, their roots, anything like that. It's just
Well, because it's a disconnect. As a history teacher, I'll
That's
tell you
right.
that. I mean, that was the hardest thing to do. Although I did well as a history teacher because I personalized it.
right.
And I give them tales of the hood, as I call
Right.
it. And the kids would love hearing those stories. Tell us again, Mr. Esparza.
Yeah.
And they would. But when it came down to like the standard instruction in the classroom, they were tuned off. As soon as they
Yeah.
walk in, they're tuned off because you open up that textbook.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with me? And
Right.
and I can't blame them. And I'm not putting down the textbooks, but when they start reading about guys with powdered wigs and wooden teeth, they had a hard time connecting. You know,
Yeah.
they-
It's distorted history.
it is. It is
That's what
because
it
it's
is.
well,
It's
see, because history is written by the conquerors.
Right.
See, and that's the unfortunate.
Right.
Not that who knows what they conquered because they're welcome to it,
Right.
but the problem is that because it's written by the conquerors, it becomes a situation where it's very subjective, one-sided.
Correct.
We were the heroes. We were this. We were
Right.
that. We made this going. I was watching, because, God bless JFK. The anniversary of his assassination. They were talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the way it's always been portrayed that he went toe to toe and eye to eye with Khrushchev, but the reality was they were already making negotiations
Mhm.
to